Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show today, Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA. Good morning, Rennie.
Good morning.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. What's the Y schedule looking like for Thanksgiving?
Well, we know school is off on Wednesday, Thursday, obviously, and Friday, but the Y will be open Wednesday. We are closed for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back at it on Friday.
Okay, sure. So now, what are you? You said you had a special grit class on Thursday. I don't know if you want to advertise that.
Yes,
I apologize.
I will. I mean, I would love to have more bodies there for it. So yes, I'm doing it. Kind of selfish. Gretchen had put out that she wanted to know if anybody wanted to teach a class, and I was like, gosh, that gives me a good reason to get up and get a good workout in before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday, just because it revolves around eating, and I love the food. So this will be some good incentive to burn off some extra calories, and we are doing that Thursday morning. Grit starts at 7 to 7:30, half hour. And I'll beat you up if you show up to it. But you'll feel so much better afterwards, mentally, and after a couple of days, physically, you'll feel it. But it'll be good. It'll be a good burn. And then there is body yoga afterwards at 7:30.
Hey, perfect. So stick around for that if you need to stretch it out a little bit. That's tell you what, grit can get you tight sometimes. So stretch those muscles out at some yoga. Very good. So very good. So that's coming up. Now you mentioned Y Zone Extreme, Rennie, for kids out of school tomorrow and Friday. What's that look like?
Yes. So our schedule for Y Zone Extremes, which is when we have Y Zone on days when school is out, and so they're off on Wednesday, November, that would be the 22nd. And so we have Y Zone Extreme at the Y, and it starts at 7 o'clock, goes till 6 o'clock at night. They can come to the Y, they drop off, can bring swim apparel, because there is planning to swim that afternoon, like 1 o'clock.
All right.
And they need to bring a mid-morning snack. We do provide a afternoon snack, and then they need to pack a lunch, refillable water bottle if they've got it, just so that they can always have something to drink, and then a extra change of clothes is not a bad idea, just because we're running around. Maybe if it's nice out, they may take them to the park. And so just to have it as a safe bet, pack it in a backpack, and so that we have it.
For folks new to Y Zone Extreme, do you have to be a member of the Y to send your kids to that?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, there is no actual membership. You don't have to have a membership to send your child to Y Zone or Y Zone Extreme. We do just need you to be registered. So if you haven't registered for Y Zone, you would need to register them for that if you wanted to send them to Y Zone Extreme.
So that's coming up here this week. And, what are they doing with the kids throughout the day? You mentioned swimming's an option. How about that?
Melinda has some other activities planned. It will revolve around how many we have. And so we won't know that until mid-morning. They'll do some things in the community room. They've got the gym that they'll be able to use and do some fun games. The spirit room, they usually get the mats out and run around in there. And so plenty of things to keep them active. And then so that's the one day of Y Zone. Then we have Christmas break too, that we have Y Zone. I do have those dates too. So there's early dismissal on December 19th. That Y Zone will continue to be after school at the schools. So let's say it's a 1:30 dismissal. It's no different than a typical dismissal day that's early. They'll just stay at the school for Y Zone. And then we have Y Zone Extreme the 20th through the 22nd. And then we're off on the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. And then we run Extreme again on the 27th through the 29th, and then again January 2nd and the 3rd.
All right. I don't have my January calendar up there yet, but very good. So, and Y Zone Extreme, obviously, great opportunity for parents to bring their kids to a safe place, to be with other kids, well-monitored, all those things, rather than maybe staying at home or wandering the community streets, those sorts of things.
Yeah, so it gives them a good option if they need it, and they don't have to keep them there the entire time. I mean, if you just need to run do 4 or 5 hours of shopping and want to use that service. I mean, the cost is the same whether you leave them there an hour or 8 hours. It's $38 for Y-Zone Extreme. But I mean, if you break that down, you have them there all day. That's very affordable childcare.
Yeah, certainly is. Very good. So again, keep those dates in mind. Y-Zone Extreme coming up here for the holiday season. We're kind of into that time, so starting to think about that with work schedules and school being out and all that. So good option there. Anything else on Y-Zone Extreme we haven't touched on yet, Rennie?
No, I think that should be probably about it.
Very good. Well, what else has kind of kept you busy lately? What have you been focused on?
Well, I've been excited. The last time I was here last month, we had Melinda Akers, who's our youth sports and adult sport director, and she talked about new things that are coming up, and we just touched on starting adult volleyball. And that is, we've already got 3 teams signed up for that.
Oh, wow.
And we're probably going to have to limit it to 8, but the buzz is out there. Like, more and more people are wanting to sign up. And I think if you can't find a team, reach out and let Melinda know, and we'll start keeping a list of names. I mean, because I even talked about putting together a team, but a lot of people that I was going to reach out to are already on one of those 3 teams. And so reach out, we'll put your name down, and if we get enough that want to sign up, we'll just create our own team and go from there.
Now, is this co-ed or?
It is co-ed.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And as far as the rules go, there's got to be 2 females on the court at all time. You can start a game with 4, and you have to have at least 1 female on the floor. It's semi-competitive, so it's not something that you have to. These teams are going to be just dominate you. Although there are some good teams that have signed up. So just know that going into it, that is semi-competitive. It's just going to be a great atmosphere where adults can come and play again. And we say it's adult co-ed. The age limit is 15.
Okay.
So, there could be some high school girls volleyball players that you could snatch up to be on your team that could definitely benefit your ability to play.
There you go. When do we get this started?
It starts the second full week of January. It's on Sundays. I'm thinking it's like the 16th.
Okay.
15th or 16th of January. And
you said it's on Sundays?
On Sundays, Sunday afternoons.
14th and 21st sound right?
That could be it.
Okay. Those are Sundays.
Okay.
Wait, is this? Yeah, January 24, right?
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah.
So once we get the number of teams down for sure, then we'll be able to set a schedule.
Okay.
We're looking at a 1 o'clock start, and each game is going to be an hour with a little bit of time in between. So if we've got 6 teams, then that an hour for 2 teams. So you're looking at 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So
yeah, very good. So is there a cost to sign up and be a part
there is
of
a cost.
Yeah.
It's $300 for the team.
Okay.
And you can divide that up. The limit on team members is, I think the roster, you can only have 10. And some have 10, some don't. So you don't have to, but you do have to. You try to get 6. I mean, if you know 6 can be there all the time, then great. So
very good. So keep that in mind. That gets started up here soon. And like you said, I know there's been a lot of excitement about just not only Melinda's addition to the Y, but the things she's going to bring to bear, like the volleyball. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, and hopefully that can filter into going back and having adult co-ed flag football, where we pick, one night in the evening to where adults can. That's how I started, just as a general member of the YMCA.
Oh,
my
really?
wife and I and our friends. It was most of us probably maybe didn't have kids yet, or really young kids, and so it was easier to find a night. It was like a Thursday night. Showed up, grab your flags, and we played. It was really enjoyable, and then and just how you kind of age out of it when your kids get older. Now your kids are in youth sports at the Y, and so the Thursday nights being open kind of go out. But we're trying to find that group of adults that are in that range where let's get together and let's go play flag football, and then maybe it could be. And we do have adult basketball that's going to start in March too. So.
I've heard, and this is kind of a, taking a veer off the main road here a little bit, but again, Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton Y, in studio with us here this morning. I've heard things about, the way the Y used to be. Like you talk about, flag football, on a Thursday night, adult league flag football, bringing back volleyball. I've heard stories about the workout groups. They had to go to the gym because there were so many of them, that sort of thing. Is there anything that comes to mind for you about maybe the heyday, quote unquote, of the Y that you want to see come back that would inspire you to, something like that?
Yeah, I would love to get back to that type of participation in different things, but just reflecting on my own life and how things have developed with programs and just in general how life can get busy with not just your own kids, but there's so many things out there that people are involved in that takes up a lot of your time. And that's where you've seen a decrease in the participation in some of those programs is just like, gosh, what night or what day of the week do
life gets in the way.
You schedule something because it's not going to work for everybody. And it's just sometimes life's too busy. So it really comes down to setting some time aside for yourself to make that a priority. No different than how you would say, I'm going to go to a group exercise class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I'm going to do this in the pool. You have to set that time, and just if it's a priority, you're not going to miss it. And if it's one of those things that it's the first thing that gets checked off your list, if life gets busy, then that's their decision. That's your decision on what is your priority, and you just kind of deal with that. But there's been a lot of things out there that people can be involved in, and so it kind of takes away from the attendance for those programs.
Sure. But now you get filter in a younger generation of guys and gals that have young kids maybe, and maybe they take up those things, the beacon of those classes and those programs and that sort of thing.
We have a good group of guys that come in and play in the morning.
Basketball, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's 2-3 mornings in the week, if not more. And they do a good job they've got contacts of everybody, and they just send out a contact like, hey, who's up for playing? They played this morning. And they get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're playing by 5:15, 5:30.
What time's the Y open?
5.
5, yeah. So they're there, doors open, ready to roll.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I know it's hard concept for a lot of people, because then I teach grit on Mondays at 5:30 in the morning, and it's not for everybody. Not just the class, but that time, like 5:30. I mean, I'm just not a morning person. I get it. I probably never started out as a morning person, and it just took some discipline to start doing that. But once I got into it, I am amazed at how much better I feel doing that first thing in the morning versus trying to muster up the strength after a busy day in the office or at the Y, just doing Y things, just doing daily things. And for a lot of people that work a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4 job, that's tough. That's tough to be disciplined and say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. It's a lot easier to skip it. For me, anyway, not everybody. But I would just say if you want to try it out, at 5:30 in the morning scares you,
do it once.
Do it once, and then again, maybe 3 times. What do they say? A habit takes at least 7 times or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So but I mean, like you said, or it's tough. Like you're going to commit to doing it on lunch or in the middle of the day, taking a break, and it's like, well, then the day gets to you, and you've fallen behind, and you get busy, or I've got to do this yet still, and that's going to eat into when you just get it out of the way. That's what my wife does. Just gets up, gets it out of the way, and she's on her way. So
I think the first goal is finding the time to invest in yourself and your health and wellness.
Right.
And not allowing things to get in the way of that, because everybody knows it's important. You can't really talk to somebody like, oh, I don't need to exercise. I know so-and-so, and they exercised every day of their life, and then they died at 55. Well, yes, those things happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, everybody knows that, and that they need to have some type of health and wellness routine in their life. It's just mentally and physically it's going to benefit you.
Sure, very good. Well, Rennie, where do folks go to learn about all the things we talked about? Volleyball, co-ed volleyball, maybe classes, just things going on. How about that?
Well, I would say that if you're a Facebook person, is to follow us on our Facebook page, because we've done a really good job within the last several months of posting everything. Matt Hall helps us with that, our social media. And so anytime we need something posted, we send it to him and he gets it out there. So the information is readily available. You can get on our website. We try to keep it up to date as much as possible. When we do something on Facebook, we make sure that it's updated on the website.
Sure.
All that detailed information is usually found on the website, too.
Yeah, very good. So it's all there. Find it there. Very good, Rennie. Let's take a break here, my friend. Come back with some more. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA, in studio with us. More to come on WHOW.
WHOW.org.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly lower, beans higher, and wheat trading slightly higher. December corn down 1/4, 466 3/4. March corn down 3/4, 484 1/2. May corn 495 1/4, down 3/4. January beans 1348 1/4, up 8. March beans up 8, 1364 1/2. May beans 1376 1/2, up 7 1/2. December wheat 552 1/2, up 1 3/4. March wheat up 2 1/2, 578 1/4. December bean meal 449 even, down 430. December bean oil 52.55, up 54 cents. Livestock market at this hour: January feeders 228.85, up 35 cents. December live cattle down 95 cents, 174.80. December lean hogs 71.10, up 12 cents. Energy market at this hour: December crude oil 77.56, up $1.67. Jim Taylor.
Here's another Clinton Save-A-Lot satisfied customer.
I'm Josh. I'm from Clinton. I usually go shop here at Save-A-Lot. I get out once or twice a week. Come here. It's convenient, close by. Got a great selection, good prices. It's close by. I just live a few blocks away, so it's nice to have a place close. Has a wide variety. Steaks, chicken. They have chicken fajitas. I make chicken fajitas quite a bit, so they got the chicken already chopped up for fajitas. That makes it nice.
And his owner, Dave Jackson, says,
and we hope to see you soon.
Need a winter coat? Here at Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton, we have a great selection of adult and children's coats, and right now they're on sale for 20% off. This is Connie inviting you to come check out our Christmas items too. See us on Facebook, Instagram, and DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. Selling your house on your own can be overwhelming.
Pricing, phone calls, showings, liability. Did I mention the paperwork? And baking all those cookies for open houses?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
For stress-free selling, click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest in studio this morning, Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA, our guest in studio here for today. And Rennie, I know you mentioned Melinda Akers has come on as the Youth and Programming Director at the Y, and she's got some big plans for the kids programs. What's going on? Basketball season's upon us.
Yes, and basketball season, the registration for the program is up and going. We've had several turn in. Last week, at one point, we were right at 40 participants, and
Wow.
we know that we'll at least probably double that. So get those turned in. Registration goes through the end of December, and we get right into it in January. And so we do have a special clinic, and a basketball clinic is December 16th. Kindergarten through first grade is from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, and that is at the YMCA. And then there's a half-hour buffer there, and then the older group, second grade through fifth grade, can come in at 10:30 to 11:30. We're going to have some of the high school basketball team, both boys and girls. Players are going to help with that and have a fun in-between time where they can sign things that the kids want to bring signed, just kind of a fun thing to have.
Cool.
And then we do have some games that week that we're hoping to see some of those kids at that clinic come to the game and root on their favorite Clinton Maroon basketball player.
There you go. So put that on the calendar. That is, you said December 16th?
16th.
Yeah,
yes.
very good. Right around the corner. Now, basketball sign-up, what's the status like? How long does that go, and when does it wrap up? When does basketball get started?
I believe it goes all the way through the end of December.
Okay.
And so that gives us a little bit of time to organize the actual schedule for games and practices. Typically, just what we've done in the past, it'll be 2 nights a week that we'll have the gym at CES to run practice and then have games on Saturday.
Okay.
It just depends on how many teams we have. We are going to have to use the Y for the first couple of weeks in January because CES is not available. And but we're so blessed now to have the basketball hoops that lower, so we can actually not be tied to having to use CES with the school having so many activities going on with their sports and things like that.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I was going to go next. That investment in the gym is really going to allow you to do more things and keep more things in house.
Yeah,
so
it's nice. It's a huge benefit in scheduling because you don't have to schedule things around CES when we can dictate what we want to have in our gym and use it for youth programs. So
yeah, you can block out your own times and make time for what you need. Absolutely. Anything else coming up youth programming wise? I know we touched on Y Zone Extreme, and obviously Y Zone continues on. But anything youth programming we haven't touched on?
Yes. So at the end of basketball, that'll run through the end of February, and then we'll be rolling right into youth volleyball, which is new that we're bringing back. And flag football will be in the spring as well. And so we're in the works of working with the flag football anyway, with the coaching staff for the Clinton football team and JFL coaches, whoever.
Oh, cool.
To get that going and coordinate that.
Good way to get kids introduced to football, without throwing on the helmets and the pads and all that
it's a
stuff.
great development for the skills that you want, for Coach Bass, the football coach for the high school. I mean, he's going to want that age group to be taught the skills needed. And these are skills that you don't need to have a helmet and pads on to learn and develop and to get the concepts of football. And so it's going to benefit the programs in the long run.
Sure,
for sure.
Very good. I know you've got other kind of housekeeping things, Rennie, to mention to us. What else is going on at the Y these days?
Well, I want to reiterate too, this Thanksgiving, if you're wanting to get in and take a class, I'm doing grid at 7:00. There is a limited number, so you will need to call the Y or stop in and sign up for that.
Okay.
And then the body yoga after that as well. It's you need to sign up so we have an idea of how much room that we'll have available for members to do.
Yeah.
That. So
yeah.
Other than that, we're plugging away. We're looking at, Survivor will be coming up here in January. And so we'll be preparing for that. And everybody's starting to think this is once Thanksgiving hits, from Thanksgiving all the way through the New Year's is the most difficult time for people to stay focused on their health and wellness routine. If it's exercise, if it's just even eating healthy. So this is the time to start
building that momentum. Yes.
And keep yourself in check. That's Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I'm going to teach grit. Give me an excuse to maybe splurge on some extra turkey or
some potatoes or something. Yes, sure.
The marshmallow salad, whatever is out there. So.
Rennie, I got to let you go, my friend. Sorry about that. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA. Network News is now.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM.